Namaskar. Uh, Thanks for the lovely AV which I saw. It's very surprising to see these photographs from where you people have got it. But it's really gives me a great honor to come to this Bhubaneswar once again, so which I spent a couple of years, say 22 years back. And I must thank Ms. Jaggi Panda and OTV for giving me this opportunity to speak on this Foresight annual convention, which is organized, where wisdom and experience meet. Distinguished speakers and respected guests, it is indeed a great privilege and honor for me to keynote speaker amongst the August gathering. At the outset, I wish to extend my gratitude to our health workers, central and state governments, media and civil society for their humongous contribution in containing the havoc that COVID-19 pandemic brought in its wake. Precious lives were sadly lost, livelihoods were largely impaired, thus alerting us to value health, environment, near and dear ones, which we so often take it for granted. The pandemic also brought forth to us, the world citizens, some stark realities and pleasant discoveries. We now know the limitation of mindless expansion and exploitation of nature, as well as the power of technology and the value of being with our loved ones. In effect, the pandemic has left us with a completely different world, with tightened global financial market conditions, behavioral changes, and altered consumption patterns. This pandemic did not just stress our system globally, but also exposed the existing gaps to our systems, forcing all of us to identify the loopholes, thereby regroup, reform, and reinvent ourselves. As an outcome of this pandemic, India has emerged as a world leader in the new world order. By the end of financial year, India officially will become the world's fifth largest economy, overtaking Britain. Germany at fourth position, Japan at third position are within the striking distances. According to several global financial institutions, India's GDP will be the world's third largest by the end of this decade. London-based IHS Markit, a global leader in analytics, projected India's GDP at $8.4 trillion by 2030. India will play a pivotal role in the world affairs. In fact, I must summarize by my opinion about future India in the form of a famous ad jingle. बुलंद भारत की बुलंद तस्वीर, ना सिर्फ टाटा, अंबानी, अडानी, बिरला, बजाज, it's also you and me. Our Honorable Prime Minister has also urged Indians to help make the country a global leader in the post-pandemic world. During one of his speeches in Parliament, he said, quote, "We are living in a new world order. There has been a new turning point after pandemic. We are being recognized as leaders. India must take on the global leadership role and underestimate itself in playing the leadership role," unquote. India has already proved its mettle in several critical sectors in the world economy. All of us, we know that IT and IT-enabled services has been the strong drivers of the Indian service sectors. Our reputation as the pharmacy of the world and the source of low-cost generics and drugs is not unknown. Agri-based food processing, textiles, automobiles, electronics are some of the fastest growing industries in our economy. Name any sector of the economy it's on a high growth path. In fact, last evening, I was going through some article where they say in last 5 to 6 months in India, bicycle sales has been doubled. So it shows that, how conscious we become about our health, global issues, and which also is giving a boost to the economy in the other sectors. With the theme and thought leadership that this distinguished forum presents, we should take this opportunity to take a step back and ponder on the strengths that gave us the laurels in the New World Order and the areas which we need to focus in order to take us in the winning league. Now, who are the winners in the New World Order? Where smart innovation in every sphere of life take us a pleasant surprise, in my humble opinion, they are the ones who have humility to unlearn the old and courage to learn the new, irrespective of age or hierarchy. Winners are also the ones who have invested in upskilling and meticulous research and innovation instead of rote learning and mindless job schedules. I take pride in sharing with you that TCS ION, the organization, the unit which I belong from, which has created multiple innovations in bringing digitization of assessments, evaluations, business processes, and learning in the country. India has the potential to emerge as the preferred destination for higher learning and skill building. With the internet penetration rate estimated to reach above 55% by the end of 2025 in India, digitization of education remains one of the topmost priorities. Many e-learning portals have appeared and are performing well as an increasing number of learners enrolls themselves for online courses. I can think about a recent example which I can give, that University Grant Commission has already approved and allowed higher educational institution to start the online courses, the degree and diploma courses, which again gives a very big boost on the learning aspect, certification aspect, and education aspect, and the literacy aspect in this country. Now, we come to the disadvantage of the New World Order. Unfortunately, with a history of wars and conflicts, exploitation and other natural factors, we do have disparity in terms of access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities for the disadvantaged. And if the disadvantaged are not empowered and included, the winners shall not be truly winners. But I do insist that digital technology presents thoughtful and powerful solution to overcome these disparities, which was not possible in the old world. But notwithstanding that, we must develop a sense of empathy for fellow human beings, for all of us to emerge as a winner. We must not forget that during the peak wave of COVID-19, when most of us were feeling helpless, we saw selfless volunteers who arranged for life-saving equipment, hospital beds, etc., using simple messaging and communication apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, so on and so forth. It goes to show how empathy can empower all of us to achieve exponential outcome using technology. Sustainability is also a part of empathy. If we are not to be truly empathetic to our future generation, we will be conscious in our consumption and exploitation of environment and natural resources. I'm proud of the fact that Tata Group has these values enshrined in our code of conduct. Yesterday, 3rd March, we celebrated the visionary founder of Tata Group, Shri Jamshedji Nasarwanji Tata's 183rd birthday. We at TCS ION also did a bit in providing TCS ION Digital Classroom free to all the solution free to continue routine classes in primary, secondary, and higher education institution in the country while they can learn in home during this pandemic period. We converted our delivery centers across the COVID care centers with full medical support. Many of my colleagues turned into full-time volunteers, even as ambulance drivers in some cases, because all of us, we knew that ambulance drivers were shortage in the second wave of COVID. Apart from empathy, I would also wish to bring about overcoming our cognitive bias, like over-dependence on information available in social media. A cognitive bias is a subconscious error in thinking that leads you to misinterpret information from the world around us and affects the rationality and accuracy of decisions and judgments. You must be thinking why I'm talking about the cognitive bias. The reason I'm talking about these biases, and there are many of them, is because often we overlook facts, research, data, and merely go by conviction. All of us, we heard that information is power. And now information is available, the same information is available to everyone in one click of a button. But now, in new norm, effective use of information is actually a power. India is at the cusp of digital revolution in the education sector, and it is paramount that as government, as businesses, and as individuals, we take rational decisions. If we must be leaders in the new world order, then success will come through investment in high-end research, digitization, attention to data and insights, well-laid out plans, policies, and adherence to these policies. Standing in the land of exquisite art and culture, that is Odisha, I do ponder often on the role of art and culture in the new world order. Art and culture has been proven to be soft power of our nation across the world. It is this soft power that world recognizes time and again and make us a heritage-rich nation. As I come to my end of my address, I reflect upon the words of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, where he once said of making India as a Vishwa Guru, I do dream of coming times when our future generation shall hail our country as the Vishwa Guru in the new world order. Thank you and namaskar.